All right, and welcome to Nerds at Night, Episode 3. And tonight's show, we are going to be playing ShadowRun on Sega Genesis. Now, I've already played the game billions of times, being a older gamer. So tonight, the honor of actually running through this amazing Genesis game goes to Fireheart47. Say hello to the people, Fireheart.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as you can well guess, Fireheart is a little bit younger than me. He's actually in his early 20s, so this game came out in 94. He wasn't even born yet. So this game actually predates him by 1 year. So let's start in. As you can see, here's the infamous load screen, which now this is the Genesis version, and the big difference between it and its Super Nintendo counterpart was that this game featured more of an over-the-head view. It was action oriented. You moved around with a normal D-pad movement and things of that nature. Whereas the Super Nintendo version had the 3/4 isometric view. It attempted to feel like a computer game. Actually, a lot like games like, you know, I'm trying to think of like some of the early Fallout games that were that way. And things of that nature, where you really felt more like you were playing an interactive story than as opposed to a heavy action game. All
Right.
right. So that's kind of the rundown I have for you, Fireheart. So yeah, go ahead and start a new game. Now let's kind of take a quick walk through the classes. There's Street Samurai, or just Samurai as they call them in this game. There's your basic just beat 'em up class. You can get cyberware, but it's mostly useful for just enhancing your aim and making you stronger.
Right.
Yeah. The next class is Decker. Now they get to do the Matrix missions, which are my favorite missions to do in the game, where you actually hack into a computer with your mind and have to get past its defenses and steal information or crash the system as requested by your Johnson, as they call them, which is not slang term for your dick in this game. It's just the person you're working for. They're called Mr. Johnsons.
Yeah, they're basically your info giver. Quest givers, basically, is what they seem to be. And then Gator Shaman, which, that's a thing.
Yeah, Gator Shaman is basically just their term for a magic user. I don't really, they kind of dropped to just Shaman in later versions of the role playing game, but, at the time this came out, Gator Shaman was the term. And a lot of the shamans are based around, in terms of race, they're typically dwarves actually in this world, and most of them have some sort of ties to the Native American tribes, because that's actually one of the big story points. In fact, one of the big regions in this area that you go to is is not really a Native American reservation. It's actually more of a Native American free state that seceded from the Union.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, in the time of this, there's what's left of America, which fused with Canada, which is basically the North.
Right.
Then you have the South, which became the Confederacy again, only without the whole pro-slavery thing. And then you had areas like the California Free State, which every game and vaguely anarchist era likes to do, is for some reason they always think California stays free.
I was going to say, I think Fallout did something like that, where California formed some sort of group like that, I believe. I think that was one of the factions, I believe.
Probably was. So, by the way, ignore any errant sounds in the background. We're still breaking in our mutual mic mixer. So basically, there's two live mics, and we're trying to get them tuned in. So it's constant progress. At least now, one of us isn't rooted through the native, chat option of a console. So we're getting progress.
Right.
And of course, I'm sitting in a recliner, so you might hear the recliner lean back, because I'm lazy about this, like I am everything else in life. All
Yeah.
right, so go ahead.
I was going to say, I actually could kind of see some resemblance, I suppose, to this looking like a Native American. I thought that was meant to be like war paint on their face, the red lines there near the eyes and forehead. I thought that might have been some sort of Native American influence, I suppose.
That could be. Just a graphical note. Well, yes, I know it'd be easy to play through an emulator. This is actually hooked up through my normal video game capture utility, and to make the right connection, it's going through an upscaler, which isn't really upscaling a Genesis game much. Also, really funny story. 4K TVs don't like retro systems. I don't, I usually keep a smaller old school flat screen or tube TV around for such things, but I just kind of wanted them all hooked up in one place and went to fire up the Genesis even on AV, and nothing came through the TV. And this is one we just picked up here recently, and I'm like, well, that's strange. Tried swapped out cables just to be sure. Kept trying. You know, did a little research, and the first thing I found is 4K certain 4K TVs don't have a low enough resolution to support these systems. It was really kind of interesting to be like, well, hey, that's not going to work. So yeah, I picked up a cheap upscaler just to be able to play these games when I feel like it. Half the time when I'm just playing for fun, I play on my Sega Nomad. All right, so go ahead. We've made these people wait long enough and rambled about nothing. So,
Right.
all right, Fireheart, go ahead and pick what class you want to try this time.
Well, then I'm going to go for a Decker this time. Yeah, and for this upscaler, it certainly does not make reading this text any easier.
No, actually, that's not true. It sucked to read on a regular TV. They were trying to make it look more like green screen type, which really didn't work well on green monitor screens, let alone TVs even in the era. So it wasn't any easier to really read in those times. But
I mean, I understand what they were going for. I can clearly tell that's kind of the impression they were wanting to give was, computer screen text, but it's hard to read it clearly because of that, especially when it's on a larger screen like this. It's a little bit easier kind of seeing it on the capture replay, but that still is kind of distracting to try and see it through there.
Yep. All right, so obviously, as you see, you go from downtown Seattle to Redmond Barrens. Now, for those who couldn't read the story that flashed in the beginning, let me just kind of give you the rundown for where you're at right now. You start out, your character, or you, because you don't really ever assign a name, is the brother of one of the characters featured there in that opening scroll who died. And you're basically just on a mission. This is really the mission that you could sign up for right here. It's option C. And for those who can't read, it just says, I'm here to pick up Michael's stuff. This is the only mission you have to do in the game, in reality. I mean, that's, there were other games in this era that did that. I'm not trying to say it was the only one, but that was pretty cool for, an era of games that were built around, I have to go to level 1-1, then level 1-2, or whatever. It's like, all right, do this or don't. I mean, you really don't even have to do this, but this kind of sets everything in motion. So go ahead and just say, hey, you're here to pick up your brother's stuff. And of course, you're told to either pay the guy or ask him how you're going to get that much money, because you don't have that much money. Go ahead and hit A to try to pay it.
Oh, shit, do it.
See, it says, hey, if you need New Yen, which is their currency, it tells you to basically go find one of those Johnsons we were talking about and go get some work.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, go find yourself a Johnson. Oh, no, I said your real name. Run, or shoot him again and go through all this. I prepped him a little bit and had him get used to this controls and stuff while I was trying to set up the audio. And he kept wandering into an area in this area that is kind of like when you step into a red enemy area in an MMO. They're going to kill you. And they're going to kill you on sight. And that's kind of what kept happening to him, and he couldn't figure it out. It was hilarious.
Well, I knew it was a bad area, but it was just more of like...
But you kept going.
They were right near where I start, or where you, I guess, respawn at, for one. And, along with that, trying to figure out where to go and figure out ways to make cash to upgrade my weaponry was just a bit tricky.
Well, let me give you a little piece of advice. Go back over to your right a little bit. Or... Here's another cool thing is every now and then, just to kind of keep things interesting, these little random events would throw themselves out here. In this one, this guy's asking you, if you want to buy some grenades. Now, you have a choice. You can attack them, which, okay. You can walk away, which, again, okay. Or you can attempt to buy what they're selling. Funny story. It's not the same result each time. Like, this can pop up a couple of times, and I don't want to spoil it too much, but if you tell them you'll take the grenades, it isn't always just here's grenades, here's money.
Right. But just the wording of that, it almost sounds like you're going to take them from him, and I can feel like he can take that the wrong way and then attack you. Or if you try to attack him in the first place, it's probably going to end up with you getting blown up. Like, it ain't going to go your way. So
I mean, it really what happens or doesn't is random, but as far as like you taking the initiative to attack, it's survivable. Maybe not quite so early in the game, but I've come back through this area just for funsies when I've cheated like all hell and gotten my character all roided up and sometimes I'll just keep attacking these random events just to pick the fight for fun, and it's fun to, once you've built up your character, and you can add, party members, you can hire people to help you. So after, you hire 2 or 3 people to join you, and well, actually it's only 2 max, but still, and then you just watch the guy get gunned down horribly, and usually you'll see the little Nuyen icon, and you can pick up money. Good
So,
lord, this looks terrible.
so I was gonna say, so was that what those little yellow things were when I killed some enemies?
Yeah,
Were those the cash options?
yeah, that's equivalent of picking up gold.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I would suggest walking away.
Right.
Good move. Now, let's walk back up into the top right. I want to illustrate something here. It's a little hard to see, but you see that triangle sign you're standing under?
It actually looks like a glass.
Yeah,
For a bar.
that's the bars, and there's beds for hotels, crosses for hospitals, and like it looks like a present for when it's just somewhere you can go to buy stuff. So whenever you get lost and you're looking for a specific type, that's some of the markers to keep an eye out for. Oh, he's back again. He really wants to sell you them grenades. I say walk away again.
I was gonna say he's really wanting some cash.
Or he's an undercover Lone Star agent. And for those playing the home game, Lone Star is kind of the cops in this world. It's, they're what would happen if freelance police became legal. Oh, the jump house.
So this is where we were sent in the first place to get a job to, start making some money and so we can get Michael's stuff. Which
Yeah,
did they actually explain what his things were that we needed to buy? Or
Well,
was
yeah.
it just his stuff?
It's just his stuff. He was just, for whatever mission he was running that got him killed, he was staying in that hotel. So
Yeah.
the guy held on to his stuff, and they're trying to build this whole notion that it's a dystopian future ran on money, so obviously he isn't going to be a nice guy and just keep your brother's stuff for free. He was either going to try to peddle it or hold on to it for you. You probably called him and vid phoned him and said, hey, I'm coming, don't get rid of his stuff, and he's basically charging you a storage fee. But
Which I understand that. I'm just meaning more so like, what does the stuff comprise of? Is it like just his gear or?
You'll have to see. I'm not going to ruin everything for you. Well, let's go talk to the Johnson in the background. We've been on basically the first 2 starting screens. Now here's your bar. Well, usually if you see someone standing in here, this is pretty much an Elysium zone for anyone familiar with other role-playing games. This is a spot where you're not really supposed to get into tussles. Now, there's nothing stopping you. I've accidentally shot people in places like this before, and by accidentally I mean I've just gotten bored and killed people. But what you want to look for...
He means that in the game, folks.
Okay. So what you want to look for is, you notice up there on the top left, you can see kind of see what looks like a little flesh-colored dot. On a more proper definition television, it would look like an arm on a table. So you just kind of walk up to it, and it should trigger you to talk to him.
Oh, that's a face.
Yeah.
So he'll end up giving you some work here when you hit B here. So
Yeah, I
we'll
mean,
see what he offers.
yeah, standard role-playing fare at this point of, hey,
Here's your quest giver.
right.
Do this thing for me. I'll give you some cash when you get back with it. Yeah, as they refer to them, the quests seem to be referred to as ShadowRuns, hence the name ShadowRunner, obviously. So we've got to kill ghouls. Oh, that's a fun one. Let's see. 25 each. And that changed from the last one. It seems like there's a bartering system as well, because it starts with the offer of 20 per ghoul, and then you raise it up to 25, I guess. So it seems like you made him pay more.
No, I just think you missed it the first time.
I mean, like right here, it even says it. You are offered 20.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. Yeah, I think they're based on your starting stats and what you raise them to. Yeah, there is a negotiation engine that'll change the value of the jobs. If you want to go killing people, go ahead.
I mean, I kind of need the cash, so.
Now, ghouls are ghosts, and they're in the abandoned buildings.
Right.
Now, if you ever forget, let's go ahead and bring people to the pause menu.
Sorry, went back into there.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and hit start and bring people into the pause menu. Now you see, if you forget what you're doing, and it's a little hard to see, but the bottom rightmost option in all your little tabs
Like right
is your
here.
pocket secretary. Hit C onto that, and then you have your notebook, which is where you kind of keep all your your storytelling stuff. Which there wasn't a lot of games doing this back then, and it was so nice when you'd be like, "Oh, this is what you know we're doing."
Right. I've had a lot of games that didn't do things like that, where it's just like, what was my objective again?
Right, especially in this era. This is and it still baffles me that newer games. I mean, I kind of give a pass to quote unquote indie games or, you know, titles that are trying to or that are
Bring back
very
the
low
retro
budget.
feel,
Yeah,
or bring
but
back the
when I'm
classics.
talking like modern high dollar games, they're like you turn it off and you don't get back to it for a couple days, and you're like, well, what were we doing here? And you're
Right.
hosed.
It's like any game in this sort of, I guess, genre that doesn't have a quest screen or any sort of like logbook. What are you doing?
Yeah, you just write it down. And I mean, which was still a step up from the era before it where you had long alphanumeric passwords to keep your
Ugh.
place instead
Right.
of
Memory
the
cards
memory
and
cards, yeah. Passwords that would get generated through a hash that would let you kind of rebuild where you were at. But hey, it's what it was. Just be grateful you were born in the era of gaming you were. So let's go
right.
ahead and actually do some killing. Now, again, ghouls are creatures that are going to be in the abandoned buildings. They're not any of the people that are going to be roaming around in the streets. So, now abandoned buildings are doorways that don't have any signs attached to them. It's a
So
good
if I,
way to
rem-
find them.
I was gonna say if I remember right, the first time there was one, I think over this way.
Oh no, they're not going to be out here on the street.
No, I mean in the building. Sudden disturbance. Someone taking your picture with a holocam, and they quickly disappear.
Womp womp womp.
I guess I'm a celebrity.
Now, before you go into that building, right there to the right, you see that
Looks like an
yeah,
ATM.
yeah, it looks like an ATM. Now, it's got a couple of different features here. You know, you can call a taxi. Now, as you make which is basically your fast travel system, which is
Right.
your only travel system. You can't walk off of the edge of a map, reach it, and go to a new one.
Right.
Um, there's the vid phone option where you can call, you know, your Johnsons and other contacts. Which there's some really cool things you eventually get to do, like to get into the Native American land, they do a background check on you, and this game keeps track if you break the law. Not greatly, more or less the minute you accept a mission where you're stealing, you've got a criminal record. So you have to, you know, find the right contact and basically intimidate him into erasing your criminal record for you every so often.
That's gotta be fun.
I mean, it's not hard, but it's still just little, very forward-thinking, very not Nintendo things they were doing in this game.
Right.
Uh, cyberspace is where you go into systems. Now, if you have a specific system, you're you haven't set up a cyber deck yet. So
Yeah.
uh, if you have a specific system for a mission, you'll connect to it. If not, you can just randomly search systems. And there's a whole second story in this game where you find, by going through different systems, little file datas that spell out one specific system called Chernobyl. And when you go to that system, if you're able to stop it, you actually save the Matrix from a virus that's designed to crash it. So two kind of cool stories for the price of one. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, though, with our current assignment. Oh,
Enter an abandoned building.
ghouls tend to gather here. So this is your sort of just, you know, cave dungeon of any other crawl game. So,
Look at all that blue.
yeah. Color paletting in this game wasn't the best.
Is there a way to actually cycle the?
Yes, I believe if you just hit, yeah, there you
That
go.
would have helped.
Yeah, good. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, oof.
So yeah, that's why I don't care for this mission. I get swarmed pretty easily with anything. So
Well, there's a Johnson in the other bar who I think has an easier mission.
I noticed him before. I went through it. If it was the one next door, I didn't find him before.
Well, they're not always in the top left corner. So, yeah, go ahead
So
and
yeah.
head back to that bar and see if you can pick up another mission.
Before we do that, though, right here, if you get knocked out in any manner, you'll end up here, bar on the lower right. section of the map called Little Chiba, I believe that's called. That they're gonna basically take a little bit of your cash for finding you and reviving you, more or less.
No, that's actually one of the two ways you revive. There's another way, and it's actually one of the items you'll find in your brother's gear bag, uh, called a dock wagon contract, and that's basically combat ambulance service. You don't really, it's still just described in text, so you don't see anything cool. But in the original role playing game, they were designed to be a combat ambulance service that would pull you out of when your biological or body rate reached a certain point. They'd pull you out no matter what it took and get you all patched up. Which will also introduce you to another character you need when you actually want to advance the quote unquote story. Oh, I guess it didn't. Guess this one doesn't have a mission. I think there's another bar in here. I don't remember the opening mission being that difficult, so.
Yeah, I mean, right here we can talk to this guy here. Well, we can hire to join with us as another runner, but he offers too much cash that we don't have right now to hire him on yet. I'm looking like 155 for a single run, and then 100 or 1,550 for a full partner for the long haul, I guess. I don't like how the movement can sometimes just do this spinning motion, moving you over, because then it'll end up kicking you right back into whatever text you were just in, and can be, just irritating.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a pain to get through or get used to the movements. Is that the other bar? That looks like a different bar. Yeah, you want to walk away.
6 frag grenades. So yeah, this one over here was the other bar that we went in first. The jump house that had, the guy in the upper left corner that gave me the ghoul mission. Oops, didn't want to do that. Wondering if those were interactable.
No. The only thing interactable is Contacts and Johnson's.
Which kind of sucks. I kind of figured, at least maybe the barkeep would maybe sell you a drink or something to maybe work on your health or something along those lines that most barkeeps generally do in games like this. You gotta give credit though. Some of the actual just like a little detail attentions are actually kind of neat in this. Like just looking at some of the shading on the ground here, where we got the light casting the shadow through the corner of the building, and then the sign here on the side of the building. Some just little layers. May not be perfect, but for what they had at the time, it's nice attention.
Yeah, they really tried to make this look a little prettier, and I think there's a smaller abandoned building that may not have as many ghouls.
Oh
so.
shit!
You done effed up now. You keep wasting all your ammo, which is hard as hell to see how much you have. You got 8 rounds left.
In this one clip. Thankfully, I've got multiple clips at the start, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Hang on, don't go in that one. Let's take it down a little bit, because I know.
Yeah, that's the greenhouse. That there's one.
Yeah, there's another abandoned building somewhere in here that I don't think is as heavily populated. That's the hospital.
Ooh. Stop chasing me!
Eventually, you can get protection from that gang. It's not any. It costs like $2,000.
So yeah, this is the weapons store, but we don't even have enough cash to worry about anything right now. And this was the starting hospital. Or not hospital, but hotel. And then when we head south, we end up finding what looks to be some kind of...
Yeah, that's the trolls area. You're basically in their area.
Yeah.
Remember the red zoning like I was talking to you about?
Yeah, I'm working my way up.
Run, Forrest, run. Take yourself up and left.
Actually, it looks like they stopped, unless this is still part of it in the lower right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like we're at least making a little bit of decent progress for once escaping from them. It seems like what was this class, Decker?
Yeah.
They seem to be a little bit faster than Samurai. Because I couldn't run away. Actually,
Whoa, go up. Don't. Why are you picking a fight with them?
Because they're picking a fight with me, and then I can't enter buildings when they're chasing me. So I can't get away from them at all.
You're gonna get hosed again.
Probably. Okay, I got escaped. So yeah, this guy seems to be another kind of info giver, but not a quest one per se though, because all of
No.
his info required you to pay him, which
Yeah.
again more cash I don't have.
Yeah, there's a lot of information dealing in this game. You can buy it. You can actually sell it if you find information in systems when you're decking.
Swear to God.
Are they still following you?
Yeah. Go away, you son of a bitch. Oh, I'm sorry.
You missed. Oh, you got him.
Got him.
All right, well,
Center that, hopefully to reset them bastards.
yeah, I guess go ahead and go into that other building again, and we'll just have to see if we can't figure something out. I don't
Yeah.
remember it. Like I said, I don't remember it being this hard. But I'm old, so memory not what it was.
They didn't the first time. They didn't spawn like right here. I had to run in a bit and
It's
get
totally
lost.
random.
Yeah.
And yes, you do have to kind of
Oh Lord.
Oh, those are the baddies.
Yeah, those don't look fun. I hope they're not chasing me. Like all the way around.
Well,
Probably are.
look, you've lived a rich, full life, right?
I don't know about that. That looks like an escape actually. Ugh. Oh great, a dead end.
In more ways than one.
Oh man, those straight up look like death claws in this game, or like this game's version of them, don't they?
Yeah, they're kind of gargoyle-like. You know, you gotta remember, I rarely play this game anymore without cheating. I figure my philosophy for gaming is beat it once legit, then do whatever you can do to just play it for funsies.
Good
So,
God.
oh, you might. Hey, actually, you're getting them down to yellow already.
Until that happens.
Well, didn't say you were gonna win.
If I didn't get locked in the doorway, I might have actually. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go to this one more shot. Okay, if people don't want to keep chasing me.
I feel like we've been recording for a while now and haven't done anything yet. It's kind of funny.
As much as we try to, sadly.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also a classic example of how a simple premise game can be quite difficult, and it kind of spurs you on because it's not it being impossible. It's being,
It's
insane.
just throwing you in there.
Right. You're just in this world. They kind of expect you to know this world already, and that's one of the reasons why these games, for any of the systems they were released on, got so hard to get. Is they weren't, it's kind of what's true in anything you collect. The rare stuff is rarely good.
Yeah.
This one was, and a few others were, but a lot of people at the time couldn't handle this game. They couldn't appreciate it. Oh wait, there's a regular ghoul back there. I say kill the one ghoul, go collect the money from him, and see if he'll generate a new mission.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a run and gun for these guys. I think
It seems very much like an interesting game. Like, this looks like it'd be
and I
a
think
lot
you
of
can
fun.
go to your options screen and use one of your med kits.
I know, but
Because you
that's...
start with a couple.
Yeah.
And you've got armor. There you go.
Wait, what the hell?
You just changed your defensive slider. Oh
I
yeah,
know
that's
about
something
that.
we didn't point out. Your posture can determine how well your attacks do versus defense based on your stance.
Probably gonna be medium offense then. Because it actually looks the most neutral.
But right now you're pretty good on health. I don't think I'd waste the
Which one? Is the green bar my health, or is that the red thing next to my face? On the upper
red
right?
thing next to your face.
What's the green one then? XP?
I think it's your magic, but you don't have that ability, but I can't remember offhand. Trust me, the goal here really isn't to walk everybody through every detail. It's more just to get your...
Right.
Oh my god, you killed one! You killed one, finally!
I killed two, actually.
Oh, wow.
I missed the first one that popped him off as soon as I got out of the menu.
You're just squeezing off headshots.
What is this, the Division?
No, because these guys took far less bullets to kill. You didn't have to empty 5 clips into a generic thug.
Oh my god.
Oh, well. I think they know you killed their friend.
That didn't help. Damn it! Just
See,
let the turn around shot punch to the ground.
I don't think they kill you though. It looks like they just kick you out. Who
More
knows
or
though?
less.
Maybe it is the green. I don't know.
Well, reading the thing, it's they have the explanation that some good Samaritan pulled you out of the building consistently. It's like,
You don't have the money to buy back your brother's stuff yet.
oh, this is the wrong place. Sorry, I don't have any money. Shit.
Hit B. See if you do. You never know. Nope. Yes. You
'Cause
keep.
I was gonna say because I didn't get anything picked up. I thought for whatever reason I thought that was the bar to return the mission into, so I could at least get at least $50.
Hey man, $20 is
20 bucks.
Which is also the official advertising policy of Nerds at Night. We're not gay, but $20 is $20. All right.
So you wanna go to ShadowRun. Take to the jump house.
Which is basically bring it back here. So you'll go to the Ares Weapons Emporium, which is the weapons store.
Right. Cool.
I knew there was a simpler mission.
$40. So what happened with the old one? Did I fail?
You finished it.
Or did they just give me the cash immediately for leaving? Or
I probably gave you the cash immediately. But yeah, go back to that weapons emporium and try to avoid gangsters who want to, chew off your face.
I don't want to get Negan'd.
Okay, here you go. Hand you the package. Of course, you have to make sure you scrawl a fake name.
Of course.
With as detail-oriented as some of the other elements of this game was, I think it would have been funny if you could have just, set a random name at the beginning to be your fake name. Like, you actually name yourself and then you have a fake name.
Yeah.
It would have, when this game came out when I was a young kid, so I'd have named myself Ass. I know I would have.
I'm sure most people would have.
Most people did.
I was going to say, if you've seen any sort of high score in Pac-Man.
Well, I mean, come on.
Drops from rag.
A fancy game gave you, 6 spaces for your name back then.
Ooh.
Most
Asshat.
Yeah, most of the time you got 5. That was it.
Yeah, the 5 is always the weird one. Because most names, with any sort of link to them,
Well, I think they just wanted you not to use vowels.
Right.
Which would have been funny because, my name or my last name would have been RS. All right, did you go talk to your Johnson?
I don't know, Dustin, do you? Yes, the jokes are inevitable, people.
Hey, looks like, hey.
There's a community of goals.
Oh,
boy.
He's going to make you keep doing it.
This one's only for 20. Up to 20 kills, because that's going to happen.
Talk to him again. See if he'll let you take multiple jobs.
Like I said, I did that before, and then he says you're already under contract. And you'll notify it, and I can do it. I can get a couple kills at least. It kind of sucks that I don't have any sort of, I guess ranking for the ghouls that you do kill, because if I had killed that big one, that one should have certainly been worth some more, because that one at least seemed more of a threat.
Dystopian future, dude. You're lucky to be working at all.
Good point.
You'll be one of the homeless people living in the slums, which you're only a step or two above anyway. So before you get too deep into here, bring up your pocket secretary. See how much New Yen you have. You have 116. You're
rolling.
Just under halfway there.
I'm already halfway there.
Making New Yen, yo. Now, does anybody else want to address the fact that your main character kind of looks like an orc? They made him extremely short and wide-based.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so the green bar is your health, so the red bar is your essence, which is how much flesh you have to play with for cyberware.
So I'll just hit A and that'll use it?
It'll set it up for it to be what you have equipped in your hand, so you'll have to hit the fire button again when you get out of the menu. Oh, no, wait, it'll actually let you heal it off the pad. You gotta remember, it's been a while, so. And you do get multiple uses out of a med kit.
So I could just sit here and stack my heal.
Yeah, kinda.
Looks like that's 4, I think.
Yeah, 4 uses, 6.
That's 6. God, they really had the worst font for that, didn't they?
It's not. Some of it is the upscaling. I mean, yeah, it's not much easier when you're playing on a properly formatted screen. And we did everything we could, by the way, to recompress this image in the capture. It's just it is what it is, unfortunately. And we're routed through, obviously, for those of you out there on YouTube who code your own videos. You know, it routes back through to our TV, which is still a 4K HD TV because I was too lazy to drag out the little one.
Starting to get the hang of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that really teaches you the value of running, which is, kind of weird because a lot of these games wanted,
So
you
that
know,
was
this
4.
yeah.
If I could throw down at least 5, I'd be done. I'll get myself out of here.
Yeah, plus you picked up some Nuyen off the one, so.
So yeah, I mean, just
Oh.
shit! What the hell's that doing?
They heard your challenge. They said challenge accepted, dick. I mean, that's just what I would assume you named yourself. But yeah, I mean, going back to what I was saying, though, about the character design, and he looks the same no matter which class you picked. Oh,
good lord.
Wow. Just walked into knives. That's healthy.
That's what they were. Was
Well,
that what
let's see
they
how
were
much.
using?
Yeah, bring up your pocket secretary. Let's see how bad that hurt your Nuyen. I mean, you still have whatever you get for completing the mission, but yeah, you got 124, and you iced 4 of them for 20 each.
So
So
yeah.
you're still about 50 away.
So I mean, where do I go to? Or did that turn it in yet? Or do I need to?
No, you still need to turn it in.
Because it didn't do that last time. That's what was confusing me. Or like got rid of the mission as if I was done with it. I don't know.
Hang on.
So like, I don't remember where I get paid at.
That guy. Let's say you're looking for it.
So it just acts like I'm done.
Well, we'll check your pocket secretary when we're done. I just don't think they make a big deal about paying you.
Stoker's Coffin Motel. Jace Weiss.
That's the hotel you're supposed to be.
Yeah. Score my client to the Jekyll's Lantern in the right building from here.
So you basically got it yourself. Your first escort mission.
I got to take the guy across the street, which in this era is dangerous as all hell. But
As I say, how many times have you been iced walking across the street?
I know I'm not giving it any credence like that's not a threat, but at least it's not that far of a journey.
Oh look, it's a well-dressed guy who still looks like his chin's a giant ass.
The fuck's with the hairdo?
Hey.
What?
That's classic 90s retro future hair. That is the, max headroom flat top everybody wanted.
Look at this model. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, I don't think that's normal skin. Skin pale and cold. Help us capture him and I'll pay you. Well, paying for doing something immoral. Fuck it.
Why not?
I don't know how much they gave me, but sure.
Hey, once you finish this, you can go see the biggest joke of the opening mission of this game.
What would that be?
You'll see. I ain't ruining it for you.
Thanks for the escort. Yeah, chummer. They love, using the word chum in various ways for just descriptors.
Yep, it's just that cyberpunk retro future. I mean, it's like if you watch Young Justice and all the time they talk about being on mode or whatever.
Okay, so how much did I need? Yeah, 250, wasn't it?
Yeah, so you're good. So
Sweet.
Go ahead and go back down to the hotel and ask for your brother's stuff.
I swear to God, someone kills me on the way.
That would be hilarious.
It's like, no.
Gunshot! Oh, wait.
Credit sign reads Stoker's.
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit, wrong thing.
Could you press the right button, please?
Yeah,
I'd have laughed if you'd have walked right into a hail of gunfire. 6 men with loaded guns.
Just
There
walk
was
back
a
up.
firefight.
Walk back out and the ghouls are back. It's like, we're not done with you. Stab, stab, stab. Fucking on the ground.
It's all the gargoyle ones. They're right there to take you down. You're
Not
crying.
death claws.
Okay, so, what?
Did I hit the wrong thing again?
I think so.
Oh, Jesus.
A,
C.
C,
Okay, I hit B. On
B.
accident.
There you go.
No, B's wrong.
Oh,
Small
yeah.
change.
Yeah,
This
hit A.
card, I'm
There
going.
you go.
Cards roll off your
Yeah,
roll off your stick.
right.
Upon opening, you find a scented letter, cyberdeck, wristband, and 2 hollow picks.
Yeah.
Address to Michael reads as follows.
You don't have to read the whole thing. I think they can vaguely read it.
No, I'm more or less reading it for my own sense. I
Yeah,
don't.
and of course, dead air isn't the best thing in what is ostensibly a podcast. So, yeah, basically, you kind of this is where if you're choosing to actually play this game for any story value, this is your your herald moment of the hero's quest, where you're set into motion to do your business, and it's basically you're beginning to figure out that people working with your brother don't trust the mission that you're about to go on. Here's where you'll also get your first cyber deck since you picked Decker. You'll get your holodeck picks, which are people you need to look for. That's on the next page.
Dog wagon, homing beacon.
Yep, that's the medical deal. It's essentially the same thing. It's just now you'll get dropped off at Seattle General Hospital instead of, Al's back alley medicine.
Right.
All right, so go ahead and go through to the next screen. And, of course, here's the big joke of all.
So what's this saying? I have to pay $5,000.
No, you get a cred stick with money on it.
Oh, sweet.
So, if the guy would have ever just, looked through the materials in the box, he would have found a cred stick and been like, whatever. So it's a little humorous joke that they make you jump through all those hoops. And actually, it took us a good half an hour of just getting our bearings in this game to get the cash together to get our stuff, if we wanted to, just to be like, oh, here's money in the box.
Right.
Oh, here's your holo picks.
Oh, man.
She looks like she went 10 rounds with Tyson.
She looks like she is Tyson. Just missing the face tattoo.
Yeah, they just put glasses on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out model.
Really. Throw a wig on him.
Yeah.
Here's a pearl necklace.
Yeah.
This is much better.
Oh, Caleb Brightmore.
Esquire.
Yeah, there is
Problem solved, worries eliminated. That's his motto.
Fashion sense non-existent.
Crit stick hidden under the hot picks.
500. You got 500 Yuan. Double what you needed to get it. Look, you're in the profit already. All right. So that's kind of, and you can keep walking through here and you don't have to stop. But, kind of interesting. So now what you can do is they still don't really tell you what to do with what you found. Did you notice that?
Yeah, not necessarily, but Jesus Christ. Oh, come on.
They just don't like you in this town.
You see what I mean? I'm not going into their area. I'm right here.
Don't shoot. What the? You were in the clear.
No,
Why did you do that?
Get the frick away from me, damn it.
They let you into a trap, dummy. Welcome to 90s gaming. That's not there's no safe spaces, man. This isn't the pussy generation. This is
fuck.
You just got railed.
Oh, come here, Doc Wagon.
I like that term, dock wagon, because it is to the point. It is, here we go, mobile patching your ass up.
Better than amber lamps.
All right.
In seconds, a trauma team. Within seconds, I don't buy that. Not in Seattle.
This isn't the Seattle you know and love that you've never been to. Let's go through. All right. Since you should have your deck equipped, let's go into your... Oh, you're in downtown Seattle. You'll have to take a cab back.
Jesus.
Well, actually, you know what? Oh, there it is. All right, so bring up your pocket secretary.
Oop.
All right. Now go down to CyberDeck. Now, here's the cool thing. You have programs that do various things. Because you run into what defends each node in a system is what they call ISIS.
Not ISIS.
So you have your generic attack. And just like a computer, you have to worry about memory that your deck has available and speed. Decryption's pretty cool. Basically, you try to attempt to get in through generating a password and hoping it's right. They also have Sleaze, which is, again, another stronger version.
Which one's this one?
So I would say load up... Hang on. I would say load up the mask and the TriStar. Analyze is useless.
I don't know which one of these you're talking about.
The mask? What looks like a mask? Up.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, mask. Okay,
today.
these are very, you know. Okay, I get it now as I see it, but that took a sec to realize that's a mask.
You,
Little
you
pixels, dude.
you come back to this as a funny nostalgic gaming thing. This is what trained me for gaming.
Right.
You and your auto saves and your high resolution graphics and fluid controls. You don't know what we went through.
I went through entirely. I went through some of it, you know.
You don't. The first game you ever played by yourself, because I bought it for you, was a Dragon Ball Z fighting game.
Was it?
Yeah.
The first ones I ever played were
And
the demos on
yeah,
the PS1.
yeah, the PS1 demos actually, when you got you Spyro, so you'd shut up about it.
Oh my God, Spyro.
Yeah, you were that way. You're like, oh my god, dude, it's the dragon and he's so cool. I'm like, oh god. now I wish
Still
I would
have
have. Now I wish I would have held on to all those games. Original Black Label Spyro games are actually starting to really go up in value thanks to Skylanders.
I actually do.
Yeah. All right, but go ahead and load that in.
Yeah,
I think
so-
C button will load you in. Go ahead and also go up and get the one in the top left because that's your attack program. So now you should be able to go down to the thing that looks like in the bottom right because that's where you jack out. Let's go ahead and hit C there. Or hit start because you're in the pocket. Yeah, there you go. All right. Go on out. So now we're just going to kind of, before we wrap up here and get your final thoughts on this game, we're going to go ahead and run through a Cyberdeck mission. So go ahead and go over there to the vid phone. Now go into cyberspace. System search. You've already loaded your program, so you should just be able to hit start. Don't hit that. That just, yeah, there you go. So you have just a black or regular ice, so you can either try to sleaze through it or attack. I'd try to sleaze, honestly. Nope. Now you have to attack. It's your only way out. Yeah, you have to wait for it to reload. Yeah, that little ball it's sending out is it attempting to figure out who you are. Too many of those get through before your attacks are successful. It'll find you. If you ever see your little icon in the bottom left switch to your character picture, it's found you. It can actually do physical damage to you if it kicks you out before you log out properly. It's called dump shock in the original role-playing game.
I'm gonna say so far, is it getting through or am I stopping it?
It's getting through. You're weak and you did a random search. You're not gonna have an easy time, but you shouldn't like game over from this if you can't get it done. There you go. So now you're in, and now you'll see you can choose to enter the system, which is obviously what you want to do. And you only have one node you can go to, so go ahead and go.
So I said A, I guess.
A or C, one of the two.
God, I hope I didn't do the same thing again.
Well, yeah. I would try to sleaze through. Well, so it figured out what you were trying to do. So now you gotta destroy it. And the fun really isn't
Yeah,
this
it's
part.
same,
The
man.
fun is when you get into certain nodes, where you can do things like steal data or crash the system or cancel alerts.
It sucks when the thing just completely fails.
Yep. It's like anything else. It's based on your skills. So you're kind of a newbie hacker. So yeah, you're not going to walk in and be, it's kind of like when you go charging into troll areas in the starting area and you get dog walked by 3 trolls. Ooh, that's the one that's going to figure out who you are and attack you.
Not like I was destroying it, Jesus.
Nope.
No.
You may have to hit start and go ahead and force dump shock yourself. Because this could, knock you out.
Is there any sort of like health thing?
Yeah, that's the little white bar. Yeah, hit start.
Or for it, I meant.
Go down. Yeah, for that. That was...
For the enemy is what I was trying to refer to.
No, sometimes you can use a scan to see, but no. So you see the red square down there in the very bottom right?
Yeah.
Hit that. Pull the plug.
Blit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was going to hurt you. Uh-oh.
Oh man, I just saved you, I thought.
Maybe you did, and maybe you didn't. You know, attack him, give him first aid, or leave him to die. I say give him first aid. It's always fun.
You will now. Lone Star rounds the corner as in charge. Ah, shit.
You chose to attack him? What kind of $2 idiot are you? Yeah, pick a fight with the cops of this world. Go ahead.
Good lord.
That was your smart move for the night, wasn't it there, Fireheart?
Really? I think that's a place to end.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's end on death tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think at home?
Good.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. This is hopefully the first of one of our many retro playthroughs just to watch Fireheart embarrass himself royally. So final thoughts on the game there, Fireheart.
Actually, seems like it'd be a lot of fun. I think I'd be really into it. Like if I was around when this was a thing, or I was around in its time, I think I'd really enjoy this. Seems pretty interesting. Like to see where the story goes and get my character to badass levels.
Right. Or use the abacab, which those from my era will know. Cheat at the very beginning to access the hidden option and just do it in a constant. Because you can have their version of XP is called Karma, so you can get yourself a plus 10 Karma boost. So you can literally sit here and you do it over and over again, saving and reloading and redoing the code until you can just basically max yourself out. It's a arduous process that's only about 5 minutes less time than actually grinding out. But
Right.
really, actually, what you should do if you want to have a middle ground is if you're a decker, they have what they call the test deck, which is supposed to be the best deck that you can get with it. Then you redo it again for the 250,000 new yen to cyber deck yourself or to cyber wear yourself out, and that'll usually, if you don't raise anything else, that'll usually give you a good enough starting heal to. Wait, she looks familiar.
Mike Tyson.
Oh wait, look at you. And this is one of the cool things, not that you make it here beforehand, but at least they tell you, oh hey, look, it's the girl from the holopic, so you don't, forget.
But, well, there's also that, and I also did, I always remember they would reuse a lot of just like portraits for characters and things like that in more classic games like this.
They would,
Like-
and they certainly do in this one. I mean, the same guy you thought you saved was the one you killed right in front of the cops.
I didn't know there was a cop there.
Well, that's what you think before you act, dummy.
I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll get something off of him. Bam!
Hey, that guy killed the guy we were probably trying to kill.
Right. I was just like, you look like they were in pursuit of him. I just helped the guys out. Maybe a reward or something. I don't know. Vigilante work.
They get paid by the caller.
I don't know. You know what I got for that? A shotgun to the face.
They are Lone Star. That is exactly probably what they did. They didn't even.
It's just like, psh, psh.
if this was the Dyson Paper Brigade, the conversation would have been, "Can you pay for this? Pay? Boom, dead." Only with far less, accurate verbiage because they're trolls and they can't really talk well. So yeah, obviously, as you can see here, if you wanted to, you could continue on down the path of figuring out what really happened to your brother. You will find two of his partners that he was running with if you know where to look, and it's a real crazy thing. You'll eventually meet a guy who dresses up like a Harlequin clown, with the diamond paint and everything.
Joker.
Not really. He's actually a good guy and stays fairly well a good guy. In fact,
Yeah.
they do a part of the ending story of the re-release of this game, or the reboot of this game that came out for computer, even though it was based around the Super Nintendo style, actually features the same character. So he shows up. It's a fun game. It's a good game if you like early freeform RPGs. I obviously recommend playing it on something a little more palpable for its visual style as opposed to this monstrosity. But yeah, so this is Shadowrun. This is also Nerds at Night episode 3. Brandon, if you want to go ahead and tell them, or Fireheart47, you want to go ahead and tell them where, they could find you if you want them to follow you on any social media?
Most things are going to be Fire47 on things like, Twitter, things like that. Not much to follow, really, so, I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but I think the main thing is just, check out the site. Oh, hey, Sudden Disturbance.
All right, and this is Kid Thunder DJ. I'm findable twitter.com/nerdsatnight. That's NITE. Also our website, nerdsatnight.com. and facebook.com/nerds at night. Again, NITE. Also, you can follow me personally at on Twitter at Nerds at Night as well, and also obviously our YouTube channel. And our next video, we're going to move up a little bit newer era, hopefully something a little newer to see. We're going to move on to the Sega Dreamcast, and one of the first fighting games I got Firehard into as we kind of take a trip into the past to get some of his reactions to games. We're going to be playing the original Soul Calibur for Dreamcast. So hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully the audio isn't too terrible and we don't scrap this whole thing. Also, come back for episode, what is it, 4? Yeah, episode 4, which will be Soul Calibur for Dreamcast.